talking about the fictional Bible character. What about the tribe in Africa? I want to say it's Colossians.
Colossians.
Yeah, they say they descend from the Jewish, the Israelites. I mean, isn't that proof of the existence of the Israelites? That they say they descend from.
Once you get into the origin of the so-called Judaic religion and find out exactly where it came from, you'll find out that, for example, when you're dealing with Abraham in the Bible, where did Abraham descend from? Where did he come? Where did he cross over from? The Tigris Euphrates, from what? Chaldea, or Chaldea. Abraham was a Sumerian. You follow? And the Sumerians had a certain doctrine that they lived by while in their land. Now, when they came over to Africa, they found, totally different, more advanced, more philosophically correct doctrine, right? That they had to attempt to convert over to or add to their religious doctrine. You follow? So Abraham, being that he came from one school of thought and he was upgraded once he came over into Africa, they fused their culture into ancient Egyptian Tamaran culture, and the priests that were giving them the information would only give it to them in the form that they could accept it or take it in. You follow? And that information ended up on down through time being further diluted and distorted into the Judaic religion. You follow? But the essence of the Judaic religion in itself, when you go back to it, is simply Egyptian doctrine, just watered down in the form that those Sumerians could take it. The Colossians are not a pure seed of African lineage. They're a mixture of Sumerians or Kidmonites, as the Bible called them, which means Easterns. They came from the East, and they mixed in with the Nubans that were living in Africa at the time to produce that culture. You follow? And that's why they have wavy to curly hair and African features, most of them. You follow? But
is that the same as the 46 dynasty, that experiment with the 46?
It all ties into it. The 46 dynasties were a combination of the two breeds of Negroid. One Negroid being of the Sumerian stock. They were tall, more African features, straight to wavy hair, that bred with the original Nubans that were in Africa, Tamale at the time.
I don't know where I read this, but it was just yesterday, the day before, but it was stating that the Sumerians were in the genus Homo sapiens.
The Sumerians?
Yes.
Well, a particular strand or breed of Sumerian. You follow? For example, the particular breed or strand of Sumerian, because you got to realize you're dealing with different time periods. You follow? And when it says the genus Homo state, just like the Caucasian, he takes, genus Homo erectus, Homo sapien, skip over the Homo saurus, right? Even though everything in your body tells them that you were a water creature, you are reptilian. Have reptilian, have mammal. He still, even in there's the Tamarian doctrine also dictates this, but he chooses to ignore that. So what he does, he tries to classify it. In classifying, he's now found out that you have, you have different strands of different breeds of what they call Homo erectus, Homo genus. You have different strands and different breeds in different time periods. You know what I'm saying?
Could you give me an example of, or if there is an example of a different strand of, I guess, a Homo sapien?
Yes, there are. The fact that you're looking at different strains of it now. Follow? You're looking at different races and different species of the planet that are at the point of, now everyone's not, even though they try to tell you everyone is at a certain evolutionary stage, they're not, because you still have people that are born with tails, coccyx, right? You still have people that are born with 6 fingers and 6 toes. You still have people that are born with hydrocephalism. There's a guy downtown, I don't know if y'all ever seen him. I mean, this guy is the size of, the size of that chair. I mean, now, what happened, he's a strand of an extinct race that they still pop up. You follow what I'm saying? So everybody's not at the stage, a Homo sapien stage, one stage or one strand of Homo sapien, as he tried to tell you, because he had to put everything in a box, because that's the only way he can understand it. As if it's not separated and put complex and put in a box like that, he can't understand it. He can't grasp it. That's why everything right now is just totally rearranging his whole view of things, all his calculations, all his measurements are being proven wrong. So he got to change everything. Just the word atom and what they define it as has to be changed. The word atom means inability or unable to divide. As soon as you come up with it, as soon as you find out that the atom can be divided into smaller particles such as protons, neutrons, and electrons, and beyond that, it can no longer be called an atom as you call it, if that's the definition you want to give to it. You follow? We're moving into another mode, another phase of existence, of creation. Because creation never stopped, as they teach you. Creation is still going on. Creation is still trying to perfect itself. They found out now that only 5% of normal matter concludes what they call life. Meaning that even though what we're considered our physical form is considered normal matter, right? Normal physical matter. They found out that they only know about 5%, or the universe, put better yet, the universe only consists of 5% of what you call normal matter. The rest consists of what they call dark matter and dark energy. You follow? Now,
What exactly is that?
and now we're going to it. Now, even with the normal matter, which they say only 5%, a very small number of the universe consists of, only a tenth of that 5% is known by them, the life forms that they see. Meaning that only a tenth of that 5% they can put their finger on and say, okay, this is where that normal matter is. The other, everything outside of that, they don't know where it's at. What does that prove? That proves that even though you have a human species that's physical, you still have portions of physicality that you have not come in tune with, meaning that you're not a totally physical person yet. You haven't become in totality who you are supposed to be in the physical form.